Hello, everyone. Are we all here? Are you getting and clear wherever you're watching here? A very, very good evening to you all. Yes, it's not, of course, the stage names of these, which is, of course, Teddy J, and of course Nick the producer. None of those for now, but instead, of course, it is Nicolini Orange here, as well as Giuliano Plum, as in the fruit. That's what we nickname him, Giuliano Plum. But he does have a real name, of course. But yeah, very good evening to everyone here. Hope everyone's doing well. Shall we say a few hellos to some people here? Oh, twice here, I shouldn't be. But yeah, so yeah, we're here to take your questions until, of course, about 9 o'clock tonight. If you want to stay with us here, and of course, yes, Giuliano Plum says, "Welcome to the Clean Chat." Hopefully, we'll see our mods in the chat as well. So, massive welcome to everybody wherever you are watching. A massive hello to, of course, the couple that I met today at the Weatherspoons, called, of course, first of all, Sally and Phil, who actually I spoke to just by chance, and of course that was all due to a table that, of course, couldn't be found anywhere because of the busyness of the actual restaurant itself. So it was quite busy, basically, and they were looking for a table, and I just got talking to them, and I just happened to find out that they have seen us in the actual spoons before. This is the Spoons of Drabbot Smock in Havel. Do check it out. And of course, yes, they were on about the actual spoons being extended. So that would be a great idea if that approval goes ahead. But again, it's down to money on that particular note, whether they're going to be able to do it and afford it. So come and say hello to us in the chat, and of course wherever you are watching, and of course we'll try and give you a shout out as soon as you come up on the chat as well. Very much free and easy to do so. We still have our merchandise, which is our January sale at the moment, right way through until the end of January. Of course, our what you call one of these, and I'll show you right now. In actual fact. So any questions, as Giuliano Plum says, feel free to ask any time during this live here tonight.
Apologies for last Friday.
Apologies for last Friday because, of course, yeah, we couldn't do the NAR, which is the Nice and Relaxing show, which normally goes out on a Friday, and it has gone out on a Wednesday, and of course it's also been on a Monday, isn't it? So of course the Friday is the main time for your show, Julian, called NAR, otherwise known as Nice and Relaxing. Basically, if you are new to the channel, this is how it works. Of course, Julian plays music to relax you for a good sort of relaxing evening in, and if you like that kind of music, he does electronic organ music. He does freelance organ playing anyway, but of course when he's fit and ready, and of course yeah, he mainly features the electronic organ, a Technics U50 organ, which is really amazing. So definitely worth checking out just for that. That's a specific show just for that. And thank you very much for the thumbs up, whoever done that. I can see the thumbs up just come up. Lucky it doesn't say a thumbs down, doesn't it? Well, you know. So we'd like to get as many people as possible that would actually like to tell us if they've seen at least a hotel review. I think there's only one actually at the moment, but if you've seen a Spoons review on the channel, let us know, and let us know if you would like a future, of course, review of a Spoons, because the one in St Neots got quite a lot of views. So yeah, over 1k views, which actually surprised me, of St Neots, because normally in that sort of area I don't get as many views, especially when I've done live broadcasts. So maybe it's because it's a specific sort of location, and of course it's maybe because it's a nice location to go. It's definitely recommended, in my opinion. I'm not normally am one of those who will, of course, run a hotel down. I'll never give it sort of like a naught or a naught between that and 5, that kind of thing. I would give it a constructive sort of score, as in a a friendly score, constructive, which basically means, of course, obviously in simple terms, just something that they could improve on, things like that, little tiny little things. I don't go over the top with it, not usually. So it's very rare that I give it a low score of any Spoons hotels or any hotel. To come to think of it, I'm here to promote the hotels, and there's other stuff that we do on the channel as well. So massive warm welcome to the channel if you are that couple that I saw earlier, Sally and Phil. So yeah, massive hello to you, and your shout out is on our command. So there we have it. So how are we doing? Where are you watching tonight? Let us know in the chat. We are waiting for the first one to come out. You're all shy tonight, I think, so far. You're all watching, but of course you're not even willing to comment, which of course is surprising, because normally we do get some comments at this time, but maybe they are waiting for us to warm the cockles up, sort of warming all up in a sort of decent time. So I'm sure we'll get a comment later on, so feel free to comment at any time, your own choice, and your own choice whether you want to purchase to help support this channel in any way. I've got one of these here on sale, which Anne-Marie Cook, watching from Bury St Edmunds. That's the first time I've seen you come in for ages. You are a subscriber to us, I believe. So yeah, how long ago since you subscribed? I've never seen you on the channel for a long time, but I've seen you on Facebook. But of course, maybe you've been subscribed for a long time. I don't know, but of course, welcome, Anne-Marie. It's nice that you are joining us tonight. So yeah, have you particularly seen any? Well, she's the first person to comment tonight, which is amazing. But I thought we'd get nobody tonight. But of course, Bury St Edmunds, BSE. It's not British Beef, by the way. It is Bury St Edmunds, actually. A tourist attraction town. Apparently, somebody's been having some chips over there that is living in Bury at the moment and hoping to move out of Bury soon. Maybe it's one of the people that have been a moderator or a moderator of such. I wonder if anyone here knows who I am talking about. But yeah, Anne-Marie Cook actually used to live in Haverhill. I remember that. That was going back a long time, but recently moved to Bury. But yes, maybe you watching now, Anne-Marie, actually have, seen a video of touring with us that, of course, has been of your liking, and you can name a few, of course. It doesn't have to be just one. So any sort of kind of video that you've seen. Jack is here tonight. Hello to you. Good evening. They're all coming in now. Hi all. I hope you guys are well. You did ask a question, by the way, Jack, regarding, of course, one of these. I've got, of course, I'll put it towards the camera here right now so you can see what it is. It's obviously a key ring, but it's got a picture on it. And, of course, Jack was asking what the picture was on. It's actually a town that we've actually done a tour there, and a video, just a video, not live. We've only done a video there, and it does have a Spoons hotel there, and of course apparently somebody said I need to explore a little bit more of the town further. But what is in this town called Biggleswade? If you've ever been there, do let us know, because that is where it is pictured there, Biggleswade, which is near St Neots. So yeah, they do have a Spoons there, and they do have other shops as well as Spoons, because we're not here to talk about just the Spoon show. But of course, I just thought, I'm one of those guys that look and hunt for Spoons everywhere I go. And of course, I was speaking to, of course, Sally earlier, and she was visiting the vast minority of Spoons all the way up and down the country, some of which we haven't yet been to. But yeah, we're doing fine, thanks, Jack. Thank you very much for coming in.
Recovering from my illness.
You're recovering from your, well, I would say, it's not flu as such, is it? But no. It's just you've had an injury, like a football injury.
Oh, yeah.
And hopefully recovering soon. You still get a little bit of the odd pain now and again.
Yeah.
But you had the doctors come round, or the paramedics, and they
Well,
did a fantastic job.
Yeah, thanks to them, it was all sorted.
Well,
To put to a point.
yeah,
Not on
you're
the
still a
phone.
little bit on the pain side, but
Yeah.
of course you reckon you pulled something, or maybe you had an infection or something.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm not a doctor, so I don't know on that one.
No, it's very difficult to diagnose.
Welcome
by
to the
phone.
show that never ends, by the way.
Very
My
difficult.
friends, my beautiful friends out there.
Well, it's
We
difficult.
should see our moderators out there somewhere along the lines. Okay, so of course, a big massive shout out to those who I just met recently, and anyone else that I have met along the way. I don't meet people everywhere I go, but of course, it's just sometimes it's nice to get interactive with some people, you know. And of course, we're still waiting for approval, because we're going to get approval of each hotel that we get, and we want to show them what we are doing and why we are doing it. I can understand that most hotels, or especially Spoons in particular, that would ask that question, why are you wanting to film? Because you know, we're showcasing the room and all that kind of thing, and trying to promote people to actually stay the night there and all that kind of thing. So that is the reason behind all that, just in case anyone from the hotels are actually watching right now. So yeah, that is one reason, and I can understand why they're asking, in case there's something untoward going on, which they would obviously want to know about and approve if that is the case. But of course, they obviously won't approve something that is untoward. I won't go into details, but yeah, thumbs up to you all. Thank you very much. If we can get some more thumbs up towards the end of the program, feel free to do so. Of course, if you feel that you want to donate to the channel for us to make more of these videos into the future, because it obviously costs us to go out and about further, like train travel, that kind of thing, and if we have to stay the night and all that kind of thing. So, of course, all little bits and bobs help towards this channel and helps us grow to the next level, that kind of thing, so we can do more of this in the future. So what has been your favourite video that you've watched so far? You know, and you might ask that question to me or Julian. Of course, what is the favourite video that we've done? Well, you're more focused, Julian, on the NAR, which is I'll bring you in now.
The music show.
The Nice and Relaxing show. You're more focused on that. I guess that's your favourite, isn't it? Because, of course, I don't know if anyone's known, but the first ever view point that we had on a video was receiving about 1k views, and we've always said this from the word go. And if you've not checked it out, go and check it out, because it's definitely worth doing it just for that. And of course, it's a huge amount of views that we have received at that time. But we were in lockdown at the time, so everyone was watching at home at that point. So of course, the viewers have sort of leaped from up and down, sort of thing. 1 minute you get 1k views, and 1 minute you get sort of like a different kind of views. You know, it's kind of like different, isn't it, each time, depending on what people like. We need to know what people like, so that we can improve for the future. We are to do, of course, not Costa Coffee, because I've done that before. Well, I've done Hayville one anyway. Starbucks, somebody did request once. And there's a poll, by the way, going on at the moment. If anybody wants to have a go at the poll right now, feel free to do so. The poll is, which is the favourite? Of course, you need to subscribe to us so that you can have a go at the poll on the community section of Touring With Us. So, yeah, the leading one at the moment, everybody's going to go for this. Of course, it's the Seaside Resort of 50% at the moment, which is in the lead. And so that is probably on our next list. Well, I did actually go live in Great Yarmouth at one area of Great Yarmouth. Maybe I should do a second area at some stage as well. 25% is Town, City and Village, and Spoons Hotel is 25%. Nobody has pointed out for a Premier Inn or a Travelodge yet, so maybe we'll showcase that, and then you might request it in the future. So yeah, going back to your show here, talk us through that right now, Julian. and speak up because you haven't got your microphone on really at the moment.
Well, depends what you want me to say about it.
Yeah, well, you can tell us what your show entails.
Well, mainly it is a classical show, a kind of virtual church style music. So it's basically on hymns and voluntaries and that kind of thing of the season. So I do come and join. There must be some extra shows that you haven't missed, or you have done, or you haven't seen, to have a look on it. We did a rehearsal in Hayville, tourist a place. Well, it should be a tourist place, but it's not. But we like to be a tourist place, but Hayville St Mary's Church is. We did a little practice, and we got a few views on that Hayville Church. So that was good. So it's normally about 6 to 8 hymns, 4 each way or 5 each way, depending on what I've got to pick. It's normally, as we are behind in Epiphany, it's normally about 6 of them, but I'll have to find out 3 or 4 hymns each way for next time. Hopefully I'll be fit enough for next Friday. So bear that in mind. So it normally be around between 7 and 8 time, So bear in mind it'd be in another studio. So
Okay.
That's what basically it is. So it's a touring us organ.
Touring with us organ. Yeah, Anne-Marie Cook, if you're still watching here. Nice coffee shop in the Ark, Muffin Break. Is that the name of it there? So yes, sounds very, very good. That is Bury St Edmunds, by the way. I should be heading towards Bury St Edmunds soon, and I look forward to going there perhaps next week. But there's lots of things that I'm doing in terms of busyness, that kind of thing, with the channel and things like that, mainly towards the channel here, and of course there's lots in the pipeline. So yes, if you do request something, and we'll try and get to it as soon as possible if we are able to get there. But of course we are focusing on East Anglia region for the time being. We're keeping it very small, and we will go further afield soon. Sally Robinson, hello to you. Very good evening to you. Lovely that you have tuned in for the first time. New subscriber. And we've had another one. And now, of course, you came in as well. And, of course, yes, Julian Plum, as in the fruit, is actually here now. He's the man that has been seen in the spoons of the Dravot Smock in Haverhill. And of course, yes, he's the one with the infected leg so far, and it's on the mend, isn't it? And so talk through it. Is it painful now as we speak, or are you right?
It's very up and down.
Because we're talking to an ex-pharmacist, I believe, or a current one. I think she said it was an ex-pharmacist somewhere in Glansford. So yeah, hello to everyone. Wow, we've got 6 people tuning in. 6. Feels like 600, so I'm really nervous about that. But, of course, a very good evening to you all, and thank you very much for joining us here. And do tell your friends and, and everyone about our channel here. And we will, of course, do other bits and pieces, like this kind of thing, like a chat kind of thing. And, of course, you get the opportunity to ask us where you'd like us to go. So we take your questions. And of course, if you feel that, of course, there is a video that you particularly liked on the channel, tell us what it is, because we want to hear from you. That sounds pretty much good, doesn't it? It's that great warm feeling, isn't it, that has turned up on our channel. So, of course, it's great. Hopefully we'll see some of our mods, which basically, just in case you don't know what mods is, it's a short-term abbreviation for moderator. And what they do is make sure no one's swearing on the channel and making sure everyone's having a good time, basically, to put it in a simple way. So, yeah, it was nice that we had a lovely little chat for the first time, as I said at the beginning of this programme, because you can actually replay this at any time. So if you missed anything, you can replay this later on. And, of course, yes, bumping into Sally and Phil today just by finding a table. I've actually done that before when I was in a Regal. Bumped into a couple of people. Oh, okay, a pharmacy technician, not a pharmacist. Okay, thank you very much indeed for that. That's coming from Sally on Facebook. So yeah, so basically, I've had that experience before in the Regal. I met a couple of people, a mother and a daughter, many years ago in 2008. Since going to the Regals, I've been to the Regal a lot of times. And of course, yeah, you know, they were looking for. Well, actually, it was the other way around. I was looking for a table, and I eventually found one, and I got sort of talking to them. So it can happen. It was just by pure luck that they actually knew us. The ones that was in Haverhill today. But the other ones didn't know us. I just bumped into them in the Regal. But anyway, yeah, lots of different, because I've been talking about spoons a lot here. There's other places that we have been to on our tours, which is what we do for touring with us. We have merchandise, as I mentioned at the beginning of the show. Merchandise, of course, we got a January sale here. Who wants to grab one first? Buy one, just one for the time being. First come, first serve, that kind of thing. We are doing them at a January sale of these kind of key rings here. We've got some available here, and they look like these, and they look fantastic here. And that's Biggleswade, by the way, just in case I test you in the future. So yeah, $2.99 is the price at the moment. And of course, I can confirm that, of course, my recent hotel, which I am hoping for approval of the Beccles King's Head Hotel, I'm looking for approval of that. You know, once I get approval from the hotel, which could be in a few days, you know, depending on how busy the staff are, and you know, once I get that, I'll be able to show you what that's like. And all I can say is I got the Sunday edition for £57 for the night. So I just wanted to clarify that, because I can't recall saying that at the end of the video. But of course, I might have done on Sanford House one. But yeah, there's so many spoons one that I'm familiar with. You know, I'm getting confused with some of them. Well, not in a bad way. It's just that, of course, I do quite a lot of spoons visits, including hotels. So yeah, in talking about one, I think in a couple of weeks, all being well, all being planned, because you never know what's going to go wrong with rail strikes and all that kind of thing, because that's what I rely on to get around. And what I would say is I'm looking forward to, because I've already pre-booked it, but I might have to unbook it, if you like, or just unbook it if there's anything that goes wrong with travel and all that kind of thing. But hopefully I'll be able to get there at the Troll Cart. So that will be an interesting one to come up to as well. And I may well be live in the room as well, and talking to you directly, just like this. So I look forward to that as well. Have been into the Troll Cart Hotel before. So yeah, that was a long time ago. We only stayed the night, and that was because we wanted to see Jim Davison, which was back in 2019. Obviously a full house for that, and of course, yeah, that was at the Britannia Pier, and somewhere along the lines I still had the tickets for that. I don't know if you still have the tickets
I don't know
that you had for Jim Davison. But yes, of course, we have, of course, Julian's got to go out of the room for a second there. I'll continue here. I'll stay on for another half hour, but he'll probably be coming in and out. We do have the Touring With Us mugs as well, which are priced currently at $8.99. We did have someone buying a Haverhill one, which is inclusive into Touring With Us. It's a sister channel that we have. So we've got We Love Haverhill on Facebook. We've got We Love East Anglia, and we've got several other groups, of course, too many to name at the moment, but of course, as you get to know us, you'll be able to realise what kind of groups we've got on all that kind of thing. So if you have any questions at any places that, of course, you've been to of late, feel free to jot them down, and we appreciate that very, very much thing. But where's he disappeared to? Oh, I know where. But yeah, he'll be back in a minute. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that. As in terms of other things, I do like to visit towns, cities, and some people have suggested we go to seaside resorts. If there's any particular seaside resort that, of course, you fancy us to go to that you have not yet seen on the channel, do not hesitate to let us know. That would be fantastic. I'm sure I can give something a mention tonight, as I met Sally and Phil. I don't know if you're still watching, but of course you may be watching on replay. But if you are watching on replay, massive hello to you. And of course some people miss the live stream, so therefore they can watch on replay. I just want to say a massive hello first of all to Strawberry, our moderator, Kim Smith, Nikki and Scott Smart, who are our mods and that normally come in. Obviously they're not here tonight so far, they'll probably watch on replay and catch up with us there. And I just want to give a mention to a Young at Heart group of Haverhill, which apparently goes on from 1 o'clock and of course 3 o'clock in the afternoon. May all attending the first Y and H, which is obviously Young at Heart UK on the 2023. Have a nice time, enjoy time back together. Wow, sounds very, very good, that. And that takes place at the Methodist Church in Haverhill, I believe. All right, okay. So yes, I believe that's 1 o'clock until 3 p.m. as a sort of interesting thing to go to, and of course it's worth me attending. I look forward to that. Maybe we'll see, of course, Sally there and Phil. So yeah, just maybe on that note. So yes, unfortunately, of course, I had to bring the news, which is breaking news the other day. Of course, we are not ending here, by the way. If the rumours came across that we were ending, it's because, of course, Julian had an infection, and of course, it wasn't fair for him not to come on at that time when he was in agony. Well, of course, in a lot of pain, basically. And thanks to the paramedics that came around to have a look, because of course you always need a paramedic to actually have a look, and you can't really diagnose it over the phone really often, and it's so difficult, incredibly difficult to be able to do that. So of course, so grateful that the paramedics came around and had a look at him, and sorted him out up to a degree. But yes, the news that I'm talking in terms of sort of, the breaking news, I would say this now. No, we are not going away. We were just taking a little bit of a break, and of course I had a bit of a disappointment around that area. I was belonging to a radio station. I had a radio show called the Club Mix Show, and unfortunately the radio station based in Great Yarmouth, called, of course, as it was under its former name of All Request Radio, has ceased trading, otherwise gone bust, and of course went out of business, which is a bit of a shame, because we hear, of course, about Spoons up in Liverpool area. I don't know what people are making about that right now, about the latest news circulating around regarding the Liverpool area of Spoons, closing down, which I saw somewhere on Facebook about that, which is, kind of not surprising, because maybe, it's difficult in this day and age because they're having to bounce back because of the pandemic and all that kind of thing. Yeah, that's a bit of a pity on that note. So Julian's back here. Hello to you, Julian.
Yeah.
Welcome back. Welcome back. I thought you was going for a break.
No, I had a 2-minute shake.
Oh, right. You had a break and then a 2-minute shake.
Yes.
All right. Okay. Shake of what? You're not going to say.
Shaking Stevens.
Okay. Without being on the rude side, Julian. Yeah. Language, please.
No, no
I know.
language.
I know. There's no such thing as a watershed these days. Well, it doesn't seem to be anyway. But of course, you've got to be still careful what you say these days. There's so much things that people can easily get offended by. But it is nice that people have come on and had the decency to come and say hello to us tonight, which is so grateful, and we are so grateful for that. And especially Sally for the first time saying hi on the channel, which is marvellous. So yeah. I haven't seen one moderator in the channel tonight, apart from you. Well, you're one of them, one of many. So
I think they're watching the Arsenal game.
yeah, maybe watching that.
It's new at the moment.
Not really into football these days, but of course, I didn't really ask Sally about football. I was thinking about it, but I didn't get a chance to ask. I had to get a bus back quickly, although it was quite late actually. Buses are running late. Recently, but of course they can be on time as well. So, yeah, let's bring it on. But yeah, somebody had a nice portion of chips and a big, of course, sausage, as in a battered sausage. Sounds and looks lovely. I've just got to show you the picture of this. Sorry, I've got to embarrass the person on this one, if I can. Yeah, this is what it was. I don't know if you can see that very well, but that's better, isn't it, if I show it like that? Wow, that looks very, very yummy and tasty, doesn't it? Who fancies that?
Not if you've got diarrhea.
I don't know what part of berry that was, because nobody has told me. Yeah, it looks very tempting, doesn't it, to have one of those? What about a fish and chip review? Would that be of some interest to you lot out there? Do let us know.
Or a quiz. I have a quiz.
A quiz? Julian has a quiz, yes, but
not tonight, but it'll be another time.
we can't really give prizes away at the moment.
Well, if not
Not at the moment.
a not key ring or a postcard.
Well, maybe a postcard
Say for instance,
for the winner or something.
you've got to find the answers here.
Just want to say hello to Russell Nightingale from Cambridge this evening. Probably watching in the Cambridge area, probably Newmarket Road, that sort of area. So, yeah, very good evening to everybody, whoever is tuned in right this minute. I sound like Nick the producer, actually, because that was my actual stage name of the Club Mix show, which was a 2-hour base show. Kate Payne is in the chat. Hello to you, very good evening. You're watching from Watford area. I believe it's in that area. The head of Weatherspoons, eh?
Hi to Kay Payne.
Kay Payne is in the chat here.
Who would like a generous quiz?
Do you remember what his real name was?
Okay, Caven.
See if Julian can remember.
I can't remember.
He might tell us in a minute, but yeah, just to remind Julian.
I can't remember.
I can't remember what Kay Payne was.
Kirsten or something?
Oh, Christian. Oh, was it Christian, was it? Yeah. Well remembered. Hello, Christian. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, he's got it in one. Christian Payne. Yeah, well done. Thank you very much. Yeah. It's been a long while since I've seen so many people.
Anyone like a quiz one day?
Yeah, who's good at quizzes? Anyone a quiz lover tonight?
We won't be doing it tonight.
So, yes, if you want to know, if you want to... sorry, I got distracted by a message, but yeah. So if anybody wishes to find out how you can actually support the channel in a way, it would be greatly appreciated. We would appreciate that, and of course you can do it by PayPal and GoFundMe, which the links are in the chat. Okay. Yes, you wanted to say something, didn't you?
No, I was going to say, it's got a 3-way quiz here, but I mean, there's a lot of questions here. I'm not going to do them tonight, but if anyone would like me to do it, or someone would do it, we could do it for our channel, for just for, say 5 to 10 questions or something like that, each round, and then we do the next lot next time. until you know all the answers. And one that gets the most will win the postcard. I guess something like that. I was only thinking that. So I mean, that could be a good idea to go for touring as a quiz. That could be. If anyone likes that, do put an yes or no, yes, no, yes, no. If you like the quiz, I've done one before in time of Facebook time, but it did go well for a little while. But I mean, it takes time to do that. I mean, if anyone is interested to do that, just jot it down. So do stand by with that one. So I mean, if you are interested, is it fair that you should do it, or is it not fair? Well, it is fair. I have the answers in the paper and the questions. If anyone is interested, and don't forget, apologies for last Friday for if anyone missed the music show last Friday. It's usually on a Friday mainly. We had done it in a Wednesday and a Monday, so it's a recap of what is going on with that. At the moment, I'm recovering from my injury. I had a little infection for about a week or so. Still recovering on it. So hopefully back next Friday, all being well. But it's been a bit cold and it's authorised little things at the moment. So to organise a nice relaxing music tour as one is, I'll have to pick eight out of 10 or up to that of hymns, Epiphany hymns. It will be Epiphany because we're in Epiphany now. So it'd be up to 6 Epiphanies at the moment. So I'm a bit behind on the Epiphanies. So any Epiphany hymn that anyone knows, or a song, a hymn that Epiphany, you can get them on old and new hymn books, and all the hymns are at the back of the hymn book. So you can choose which section it is. When we go to general, it's anyone. Like it could be a Bye With Me, it could be Dale They Gave Us, it could be any of those evening hymns or morning hymns or whatever. It's a general choice. When it gets back to general, we've still got Lent to go yet. We've still got Mothering Sunday. We've still got Easter to come, probably by April. I thought, but I'm not sure. Sometimes it's in March, sometimes it's in April. Depends on the calendar year.
Yeah.
So we've got Lent come up in February, hopefully by February, and Lent we got Passion Tide, we've got Ash Wednesday, all the Maundy Thursday ones, that kind of thing. Maundy Thursday when everything shuts down. Well, there is a service on that day, but everything shuts down. There'll be no voluntary at the end of the service normally, when the book goes, and then everything goes in the dark. Everyone goes leaving a bit early, and then you go quietly. It's one of them sort of, it's a strip altar kind of thing. So that's what that is. So that's another section of music. It depends what we are doing by then. So that is basically what it is. So it's normally eight hymns, Epiphany hymns normally, until we run out of Epiphany sessions, and a couple of voluntaries, something like that, in between that, or like start. It normally starts around 7:30 to 8 o'clock time, between that time, 8:30 time, that time.
That's right, yeah.
Depending on if I'm fit as well to play.
There's also some running commentary behind the scenes here, and a little bit of introducing, of course, the NAR show,
Yes.
which is nice and relaxing show. Hopefully that will return next week. Is that right?
Yeah, I'm hoping for it. Yeah. So bear in mind on that. So if you haven't seen it, it's probably already on the YouTube page, or what is it, Tory With Us page. I presume if it hasn't been wiped off. So do look on that sort of thing. You know. It's interesting music, so it's not everybody else's cup of tea, but it's not the flavour of the month or anything like that. Not top of the pops, not top of the classical, not top of the jazz, not anything like that. It's not top of anything. It's just a different kind of music for everybody. It's not. I think you should all cater for all different musics,
Yeah.
not just one music. People like hip hop, rap,
Yeah.
and so on and so on.
So, what was the latest organ playing that you did just as a rehearsal
Well,
the other day? You know.
that was a rehearsal about a couple of weeks ago. I think it was a couple of weeks ago in St Mary's Hayward Church. It's supposed to be a tourist town, but it's not.
Yeah.
But hopefully it is. But
Yeah. We want to encourage people to make it a bit like a tourist attraction. You know.
well, we need
It's lacking that tourist, stuff.
Yeah,
Perhaps they need
shops.
more opportunities for like a souvenir shop, a souvenir shop in Haverhill would be fantastic. Actually,
We haven't had
such a unique place, isn't it?
football- we haven't got a sports shop. We haven't got a football
We've lost
shop.
all that. Yeah, we've lost a lot of shops, sadly, but of course, hopefully, businesses will start taking opportunities in this direction. There's been a lot of restaurants in the Haver area, which is good. Go on.
Yes. So Haverhill it needs a bit of a shake up. Really, it needs a bit of a. It can get a bit. The atmosphere can get a bit down, and it can be. It's up
It
and
depends
down.
on the people. I think it's like that in anywhere you go. You get your good people in some areas, and you get your good people in other areas. And the same with the opposite direction. You can get your bad people wherever you go.
Well, if you want people to come,
It
to
depends on the people.
If you want people to come to Haverhill,
Yeah.
you've got the track.
Well, we've got a good service coming from Cambridge, isn't it? It's usually every hour, touch and go, but of course it is quite a good service. But the only disappointment we have is because a lot of people have been saying this, that Haverhill to Bury is not very always reliable. But it's good when it works, but when it doesn't, people don't want to know about it. But yeah.
Now, carry on.
Have you got anything to say? But yeah, like I say, we are about 15 minutes away from the end of the show tonight. I was hoping that one of our mods would turn up today, but of course,
I think they're watching the football.
Football, yeah.
Man City, Arsenal.
Yeah, that person's a Man United fan, look.
No, the other one.
I'm talking about.
And I talk about Nicky.
Oh, that one, yeah, maybe. Yeah, I didn't realise that. But anyway, that's another thing altogether.
Anyway.
No, it's not. But they like to watch their own team. Because some of our moderators support teams, and of course, yeah, it's one of those scenarios there. They rather watch the football on that note. But yeah, but it's nice that you have tuned in, and especially the new ones tonight. It's not often that we get new ones tuning in, and of course, when they do, it's just so brilliant for people to come in and say hello to us. So yeah, it's so brilliant that anyone says hello to us as well at the same time. So yeah, our next trip, of course, probably is likely to be somewhere in Norfolk. I'm hoping it will be.
Of course, it's been so bitter.
Bitter. You're talking about temperature-wise.
Yes.
So yeah, how's anyone felt? Do you think it's been really cold recently? Do let us know. We'd like to hear from you. So yeah, it's great that you're all tuning in, and of course, yes. If you have anything that you'd like us to do in the future, is there any particular video you'd like us to focus on more than others? Do not hesitate to, of course, let us know, either tonight or, of course, on the replay, because you can comment later on in the chat as well. So it's just great feeling that people are sort of recognising us in a small kind of slow way, which is really good, isn't it? But have you got a favourite place of East Anglia?
When it's a bit warmer, yeah.
When it's a bit warmer, yeah, we're all going for that. Is there anyone here feeling, of course, cold now as we speak? Are you feeling warm in your homes at the moment? There's been a thing the other day about, of course, switch off electricity for 2 hours. what do people make about that? Is it a scam? Is it not a scam? Did you do it? Did you not do it? That kind of thing. Did you do that kind of thing where you switch off your electricity for a 2 hour thing? It's crazy when you get something like that, isn't it? And of course, I don't know. I didn't do it, but of course, there's probably a lot of people that did do it, and you only probably get £1 something an hour on that. But we're gonna finish in about 15 minutes time anyway. So we'll finish about 9. But we like to take this opportunity to continue what we're doing here. We love what we're doing. I have one particular place I did well, there's 2 of them there. Obviously, the Spoons Hotel is one of my favourites. But I did go to the Travelodge recently, and that was a while back. Okay, and of course, yes, it was just so amazing. To go there, and I went and showcased it. I think it's still on the channel here. I haven't heard from the actual hotel. I've sent it to someone that works there, but whether I've got any interest on that, I don't know. But of course, that was at a Travelodge in Haverhill. But yes, so I have been to a Travelodge in Haverhill, even though I live in the area. It's interesting to go to a hotel in your own area. How many people often do that? So it's absolutely brilliant. So yes, anything you suggest will be helpful, and we would really do appreciate that at any one given time. So yeah, any more people that want to come and say hello to us in the chat, feel free to do so at any one given time. So of course, your quiz, what would be the questions if you were thinking of it? Are you going to think geography questions?
Well, no, there'd be questions. There'd be
Television questions.
well, general knowledge.
Anyone know about quizzes? Anyone do the quiz at the Travis Smock?
Sport.
Sport? Does anyone know sport? Give us a shout if you actually know about sport.
And general knowledge.
Give us a shout if you actually know about history.
No.
Give us a shout if you actually know about geography. I'm lost on that one. Geography, that's a joke there. Oh, we like to do a bit of comedy as well.
What about showbiz?
Showbiz? Yeah, well, I can do a showbiz trick actually. It's cold tea. Anyone drink cold tea? Well, I had it yesterday. So that's why it's cold. Yeah, the jokes are free. You get what you pay for, by the way. Yeah, I have done stand-up comedy before, but of course I haven't done it in absolutely ages. It's been a long time, you know. Because partly a lot of people don't like the style of jokes that you do, and of course they think that you're copying from another person. That's how you get about, though. If you don't sort of get imitated by another person, then how can you do comedy? You know, you have to be able to imitate somebody else to be able to, you know, come up with your own ideas. You know, they wanted new material, so yeah. Certain places do want new material, but how do you get new material if you don't get an idea from someone else, for example? So yeah, I generally class myself as kind of imitating from another person. It could be a comedian or anyone that I sort of know or meet, or depends really. It depends on the type of humour they are, I guess. But I only copy a certain amount of people. Or if you like to put it, imitate another person. So it's an interesting scenario, something that we could discuss at a later stage. But yeah, I was actually thinking of a show called Touring With Us Show, just purely just to talk about touring with us stuff. Well, it can be a Q&A as well, but of course I was just thinking of a regular show like that. But yeah, I don't know if it'd be of interest to you to listen to it, but or watch it at the same time. But yeah, we've got 10 minutes left. If you want to come and say hello in the chat, you've got loads and loads of places. So name a coffee shop in your own area that you can think of. Is there a coffee shop in your area that is worth going to? Let us know and we'll jot it down and we'll try and go there. So even if you're watching on replay, we would appreciate your comments as well, even after the show has finished, which will be in about 10 minutes' time. So, of course, yes, it's all gone quiet at that point, isn't it? But we do appreciate the comments that have come through here, and we appreciate those people watching as well at the same time. Some people prefer to watch rather than actually comment, because somebody once did actually tell me that. But yeah, something that we weren't sort of familiar with. But yeah, the NAR will return, hopefully, all being well. When I say will return, hopefully will return next week on a Friday, usually about 8 o'clock. Is that right?
Well, around between 7:30 and 8:30.
What kind of music do you play then?
Well, it's mainly classical virtual church music. It's different to other people what they do. There is another version of that, but not me playing. But we can promote it. I know he's got a lot of subscribers on his list. It's called Beauty of Sound. Richard McVeigh. He does his own. Organ. He's got a slightly better organ than I got. He's got a massive organ in his house. If you want to see that one, that would be similar to what I'd be doing, but not exactly. But on the style of organ. But he does requests and things like that, and top 5 hymns. I'm doing it differently. So if you want to have a look at that on YouTube, Beauty in the Sound, Richard McVeigh. He's from Romsey Abbey, assistant organist, I think he is, and sometimes he plays at Arundels in the Southampton area, or somewhere near there. It's near the Salisbury area, Hampshire area. So if you want to have a look at
worth
that,
checking out.
check it out.
Check out all these YouTubers out there.
Yeah, organ things, and he's got super chats on there as well. He's got, because he's got more subscribers. I think the quests are probably.
Is Bill Taylor watching in tonight? I don't know if he is somewhere. Normally does tune in. Haven't seen you in the chat for a long time, but of course, yeah, he may well be sort of sneaking in at some point, you know, because some people do sneak in from time to time. So it's always nice that people do watch us, and I just give you a shout out, Bill Taylor from Haverhill. And of course, it would be nice if we could actually have some people outside of Haverhill watching this evening as well. So, very good evening wherever you are watching across the entire world. You could be watching in Scandinavia for all we care, or United States of America, or France, or Germany, Spain, Sweden, at the Ice Hotel, that kind of thing. Yeah, I wouldn't even sort of attempt to do that. Some videographers go out there and actually stay the night in a cold place. Yeah, in an ice hotel. I don't think it's up our street, really. But I guess some of what we do is probably not up their street as well. So, there you go. Works both ways, doesn't it? But... yeah, it's been quite nice. Yeah, I do hope to be able to do the one that's been requested before, Starbucks, which is another video. I'd like to test out a coffee, and of course, a coffee I will sort of review. I do like doing reviews. I do them very carefully. And some of them I will get permission from mainly the hotel parts. And if it's just a quick snap picture of course, what I have in front of me, then that should be sort of sufficient. That's all you need. So, yeah, the advice is obviously get permission. If you're a videographer out there watching right now, get your permissions to be able to broadcast in certain locations, depending on where it is and what hotel it is, and most hotels will require permission before you do things, so it's very simple and as easy as that. So I don't know when the next live is going to be, because sometimes we have in the past done a lot of live broadcasts on the channel, wandering around, And we have done live in Sudbury recently. That was the latest one we done. That was with our moderator Strawberry. If you're watching Strawberry, massive hello to you, by the way. If you're watching on replay, massive hello to you, Strawberry. She'll probably watch a little bit later and catch up with the channel. But yes, there has been a video that I just put up recently on discovering how to get to, say, like Beccles via Norwich and then going to Lowestoft. That's what explains that video, and of course I take you on a journey on that and a quick review in the spoons of the Joseph Conrad, which Julian has not yet been in, I don't think. No, you haven't. You haven't been to the Lowestoft one, have you? No. There's an upstairs to that one, and that's quite a nice little spoons to go into. There used to be a McDonald's on the corner there, but of course it's changed into something else now. And there's, of course, if you cross over, Julian, to the traffic lights past the station and go on to the main seafront, you've got the East Point Pavilion, which is a cup of tea area, which you can have a coffee as well. You know, it's quite like a, you know, bit like being in a greenhouse kind of effect. So it's definitely worth checking out. I think there is a slight video of that that I did beforehand. I don't know if you can spot it on the channel. If you can, let me know and comment down below that you found it. But it's the East Point Pavilion, I think it is, which is on the opposite side of the amusements. So yeah, there we go. I hope you've all enjoyed it tonight, and thank you very much for the comments tonight when you have been coming to say hello to us. Do feel free to come back to us. It's really an update tonight and a chat, and if you feel like you want to ask questions, I always ask you, if you feel like you want to ask questions, feel free to do so. But yeah, hopefully the moderators will be checking up on the channel on the replay, making sure everything's okay, and so far we've had a pleasant evening anyway. And of course, let's hope we do when they do come and return as well, when they watch us live. But yeah, so our next probably live is what we will update you on the channel, and when we say we're going to be in Norfolk somewhere, that is where we're going to be. And of course, you know, come and join us on the live, come and watch the tour around wherever we end up going. So that would be brilliant if you could check us out for that. So we'd like to take this opportunity to thank you all for watching. 4 thumbs up, which is amazing tonight. Didn't expect to get that many tonight, but of course, you know, it is really wonderful, especially the newcomers, for this channel here. And I hope you get to see more of the videos. And don't forget, of course, when you want to see a video, we'll try and keep it to a minimum so it doesn't bleep up your phones too much, because it can be annoying for that to happen. So when you get a notification, what that basically means is that it tells you when, of course, our videos upload or a live broadcast. So for example, if Julian's going to go live or I'm going to go live at any one stage, it may notify you. So all you've got to do is click that notification button, and of course, most of you know by now, hit that thumbs up, and of course tell your friends, subscribe for free of charge. Subscribe is very confusing because sometimes that comes in newspapers where you have to subscribe a certain amount of fee. We don't charge an actual fee, but of course if you wish, very key this, because we've been asked a lot of questions about, well, only one question so far about this. If you wish to donate in any way, feel free to use the PayPal link or GoFundMe. GoFundMe is a little bit better, and of course we do receive the funding. And if you want to buy a coffee as well for us, you can do it on the Buy the Coffee link, which we'll probably post after this live's gone up. Okay, hopefully that makes a little bit of sense. And we have had past donations to help support the channel, and all proceeds go towards the channel. including if you wish, that's if you wish to, purchase one of the merchandise. We've got currently key rings and cups on the merchandise at the moment. If you wish you want to get one and grab one, and of course, first come, first serve, basically, on that note, and all the proceeds go towards our community channel, which is Touring With Us. There's only one touring with us. On that note, isn't that right? Is there anything you want to add, or
No.
any questions before we go? It is kind of a Q&A, kind of an update. But if you want to ask us any more questions, feel free to ask now, as of course you all are tuning in right this minute here. Firstly, thank you all for watching. It's been great pleasure to do this live update. It's made me nervous as new people come in, because I didn't really know what to expect. Didn't expect them even to tune in, but of course, now that they have, we really do appreciate that. So it's so great. I hope to see, of course, the ones that I met earlier today at the Drabbit Smock in Hayville. Do check that place out. If you haven't been to the Drabbit Smock in Hayville, make sure you get down there and check out the lovely food. And I think they've improved over the years since I've been there, and they've got lovely, wonderful staff there and management team. Absolutely brilliant. One's just left. I think Karen Wilson has left there, so that is a bit of a hole in the staff part of the Spoons. But of course, we live to fight another day and carry on, and I'm sure she'll be greatly missed. But there you go. But definitely check it out. And of course, if those people, Sally and Phil, that I spoke to earlier, I meet them again at that place they told me about, which is obviously the place called, I'll remind it again for those people just switching it on, I think it's Young at Heart, which is based in Hayville, and I believe it's every Wednesdays from 1 p.m. till 3. You can actually do some stuff in there, like activities, that kind of thing. But if you just want to go in for a chat, like I would do, then of course it's definitely worth popping along to that. And I think I might make a trip to there at some stage. That'd be great. I think that's at the Methodist Church, next to next door in Hayville. So if you've never been to Hayville in Suffolk, make sure you try it out. They've got good links from Cambridge to Hayville. And of course, usually about every half hour on the bus. And they've got a price cap of £2 as well, up until March. Remember where you heard that as well. So it's useful to know. So, of course, we're going to leave it quickly open for any one last question that you may have, as we are just about to close now for the evening. We're about to bring you to a close, or whatever you like to call it in that sort of term, and get you to ask any one question that you like, that you can think of, to leave us with. So if you have that question, your time starts now. If you don't, then of course you can always ask at a later stage, and of course when it's on the replay. So my thanks to Giuliano Plum, which is the fruit name. I'm Nicolini Orange, which is my stage name that I use quite a lot on the channel. I do have a real name, Nick, my first name that is. And of course, and those people who know me on Facebook will know me under that name. And you'll also know me as a stage name of Nicolini Orange. So any more questions before we leave you tonight? I'll give you a few more seconds before we leave. Any more questions? We're taking your questions right now. If you have just that one question before we leave, then we can answer you straight away, and we'll try and answer you as soon as we are able to. So it's all gone quiet. So of course, if we don't get the question, that's fair enough. They can always ask us a question next time. Of course, some people are new to the channel. Then of course, they need to see what we're doing, and some places that they have not yet seen before in their entire life. So it's interesting. Some people really like to watch and listen to what we are saying. Maybe we're coming off a good vibe in that sort of way, and explaining and being informal to you as well. And that's the feedback I got from Sandwood House regarding talking about informative. They said it was very informative. Of course, the way we were talking about the hotel, well, I was doing it mostly. But of course, I hope that Giuliano, when he gets fit again, he'll be able to do a Sunday night stay there. It might convince you enough to do that, because I've done it. You can do it.
Well, it depends on it.
Because it's possible to do it. Of course, you've got to check the train times sometimes, but there are ways around it. But yeah, but like I say, the merchandise is there, which is planted on our page. So if you're interested in purchasing anything to help support us in any way, feel free to let us know. Send us a message. We'll send it to you, or meet in person, and then of course we can go from there. But the choice is absolutely up to you. We don't force people to buy things, but if they want to support the channel, it's up to them. So we don't force any. We're not allowed to do that. So what we do is, of course, we ask you if you'd like to. That's where people sometimes get confused. But anyway, thank you so much for watching tonight. It is my pleasure to bring a close to the show, wherever you may be for the rest of the weekend, because it is the gateway to the weekend. Have yourself a nice weekend. From me, Nick, and Julian, stay safe, and it is deeply and truly end the story for now.
Cheerio.
Until next time, take care, and we'll say this together. Good night.
Night.
See you all. Bye. Good night.